Yo, it's your boy Blaze McCoy. We're back with another episode of WrestleSense. Not very much to talk about here in wrestling this week. And I did hear that if you wear a Buffalo Bills jersey, you can get over better. So that's what I'm trying here tonight. So my Steeler fans out there don't get mad at me. So we're going to get right to it, folks. So I'm going to welcome everybody in like we always do. We are not your average, ordinary podcast for pro wrestling. We're going to try to make some sense of it, give our little opinions, and we're going to talk about the 3 Supercards that went down this past weekend. A very, very busy week in professional wrestling. Monstar says, scrumptious. All right. MSW's in the building. Good to see you, my friend. Tito's in the house. Thank you for the shares and the likes. Wally's in the building. Good to see you, Wally, as always. Crushing Kelly in the building. Good to see you. Ram. All right, my man. Good to see you, Ram. It's been a minute. I'm glad to see you as always. Mark Calvary, yes, sir. Controversy creates cash, right? That's what they say. MS Dub in the building as well. I appreciate each and every one of you guys coming in. Make sure you hit that like button and share it out to your friends. Let them know that it's time to talk some wrestling. Let's recap the week. We're going to go in reverse order here a little bit and talk about what happened on Monday and Wednesday, and then go back and recap what went down on the 3 Supercards over the weekend. So let's go ahead and bring on one guy who was actually at All Out, Mr. Doc. What's up, brother?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Can't wait to hear some of the stories you have, my friend. And
so good times, man. Good times. Unbelievable.
Very interesting pay-per-view to be there. So here we have a lot to talk about. And Rumpelstiltskin is here today. He's not sleeping tonight.
Yeah. How does it make you feel knowing that I'm sitting here in my underwear?
Oh. Actually, it makes me feel pretty excited, to be honest.
Yeah. Boing.
All right. So we got a bunch of people in the chat already wanting to talk about this shit. So we can't skip over what happened after all the pay-per-views. So we're going to go right to it. I don't know. Not much in wrestling this week. I was just on a podcast last night with good old Vince McSham, who was on this show before, and we were talking about it. I said I wanted to save my stuff for tonight, but I did let out a little bit of my end of what I think about it.
I got a lot to say about it.
And you're not just going to say it's a work? No, it's a little different this time around, but that's
not for a change. I don't think I am.
I think it's all good for wrestling again, and we'll talk about it. So let's try to make some sense of what went down this past week in pro wrestling. Here we go. All right, we got Wolverine in the house as well. Yeah. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. I'm so sick. If you watch like those little streams on Instagram, or I don't TikTok or anything, but there's that thing of, can I get it's really long, and that's like every other video is that. And I always think of you, CJ.
They stole it from me.
Did you guys see the breadstick woman yet from Olive Garden? She's like, look at this breadstick. It's the most creepiest thing you ever seen.
The weirdest one I saw today was some kid that's buying frozen pizzas at Walmart and selling them on DoorDash. He put them in his microwave, and he has his own DoorDash, and he's delivering
him. You want to talk about entrepreneur? That's my guy right there.
That's awesome.
Daniel Berry, what's up, man? Hey, I got to explain this. I just heard that if you wear a Bills jersey, you get over, and I know you're a Rams fan, Dan.
It's a lie. So, it's a lie.
I am a Steeler fan. I do have a Bills helmet, though, so.
Yeah,
I'll get you mad. Jay Vulture's in the house. We got our Monstar and Jay Vulture, our Canadian contingent in the building. So let's get to some news. We're going to do news first and then cover the pay-per-views. Someone's get their name back. How about it?
Yay!
I must have missed that, or is that like today?
No, that's legit. On Monday they had it. They had some.
I caught bits and pieces. I'm not gonna lie. I got kind of bored after like the first hour.
We got Austin Theory back.
I like that.
Matt Riddle.
Riddle. But there was a report from Gunther that he doesn't really care if they change his name back. He's cool with Gunther. So
yeah, I mean, I'm okay with Gunther. I wish they would switch Butch back to Pete.
Pete Dunne needs it. I think it's going to happen. He wore the gear.
Yeah, he did wear the gear.
The gear. So I think it could be a hint. We'll see. Super Nacho. There he is. Tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, everything He-Man and candy from the 80s in our retro podcast tomorrow. So we're going to be talking about all that penny candy and the candy that doesn't exist anymore.
Better have Mike and Ike's and Swedish Fish, goddammit.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know if I do. I got penny candy because I remember just going to a store and having all that fucking
Swedish
penny
Fish
candy.
are.
Hey, Bazooka gum, 5 cents.
Yeah, it's in there. It's in there. So we're going to talk about that and everything He-Man because it is the 40th anniversary of He-Man and Masters of the Universe, and that's Super Nacho's claim to fame. So we'll be talking about that. So good for Champa, however you want to say it to get his name. Now, this is what we had. I was excited about this match.
It was a good match.
It was a good match.
It was a real good match.
It was something different. It was like, hey, let's throw a bunch of tag teams out there, bring one over from SmackDown even, which I dug. But the story at the end of it was when there's a whole bunch from Raw was Braun making his return. And I don't know. It was a little underwhelming for me. Did you guys feel the same thing?
No, I thought it was great. That crowd popped when he came out.
And I don't think it necessarily took away from the tag match.
No, I think I was
even his pierced nipples.
Yeah, I was expecting a little. I was expecting him to get thrown right to the top, which I guess now in hindsight, and I'm waiting to see what they do tomorrow night because he said he's.
He just took out 7 guys by himself. So.
Yeah, I think he's so good and fell, and no one really noticed.
Yeah, I caught that. Flipped. I wasn't sure, but he played it off very well.
Should happen. Yeah. And what do you guys think about the Dominic turn?
Love it.
Love it as well.
We've talked about it for so long, and I think they're doing a pretty damn good job so far. I'm waiting to see if the Rhea and Dom thing goes any further. Like, I don't know where, but
I don't think it will. I just enjoy that it was Rhea that was like the main reasoning behind him.
Saying she made a man out of him, and people went to stars with that with memes.
It was perfect.
I keep seeing the China and Eddie next to those two pictures and stuff like that.
Don't be surprised if you don't hear about the Eddie stuff coming back up. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, but I will say one thing about the Eddie stuff. Like I don't know if you guys heard the fans that were in the side aisles there when Ray was trying to talk some sense into.
Yeah,
they were chanting Eddie sucks. Let me tell you something. I didn't hear that.
I heard that. Good.
No, they were chanting Eddie sucks. They were chanting.
Not what I heard.
What did you hear?
I heard Eddie's your daddy.
I heard that too.
There was that one too, but the Eddie sucks was the one when he's trying to talk. Come on, man. There's times to be. I mean, you could boo and stuff, but why be disrespectful like that, man? I hate pieces of shit like that.
You know what, Doc? I agree, but I wouldn't be surprised if they work that into the angle somehow.
Yeah.
Because it's so prevalent right now. I agree with you. I think it's a little overboard. But if Rey Mysterio says, I don't mind if we do the Eddie's the father thing, teased it for some part of the angle, I wouldn't mind that. I think it would be
right.
We got all that, reality woven into the fabric of the work. So we talked about that before. Chad, welcome to the show, my friend. We will definitely get to that here in the first segment. But little knock on Raw there. Kevin Owens continues to be
he's a top tier player, man.
This was cool. I liked
how they did this. The angle, they have the drones now. They have drone cameras, and boy, did they take advantage of that. Look at that. I loved how they did this.
So cool. And thank God Indy Hartwell wasn't anywhere around.
Oh my God. Leave Indy alone. She's done. It's over. Oh, you're so bitter.
I hate her. I can't stand her.
Don't be bitter. Be better.
I'm a
Thank you.
Tell that to CM Punk.
I'm mostly positive, but that I don't like. So someone got a promotion. And,
as he should.
Yes, he did.
As he should.
And I think we talked about it last week, and Ray brought it up too, and I agreed. And we were talking about the fact that Tony Khan really needs a hierarchy below him. He may have somewhat of it now, but needs to really change that.
You know who it needs to be?
William Regal.
Jericho.
I would take him too. Another guy got a little promotion as well, his buddy. So we got another promotion. Shawn Michael is now.
Oh, wow. Senior
Vice President of Talent Development. I love these titles, man. They got the craziest titles in pro wrestling.
I mean, it makes sense, though.
Yeah.
It does.
Because they know what they're doing.
Well, now you got two guys that are retired as EVP type things, which we'll talk about it in a little bit. Yeah. I don't mind that.
I bet you they could run a Target.
If you're working I don't know if you should be an EVP, and there's proof positive of that we'll definitely get to.
I don't think.
I feel bad for all the Target managers, man. What are they doing to them? We're not going to get no Pat no more for the football season. He's now on game day. He's not on SmackDown anymore. So I'm a little depressed about that.
Temporarily.
Yeah. What do you think
that
about
breaks
it, Doc?
my heart, man.
Me
Because
too.
like, him and Cole, when they were on there, you had two guys enjoying their job. Cole didn't look like he really enjoyed his job before McAfee came. So I'm hoping, I mean, with H and everything, I know it's going to be, there's still change going on and everything. So I hope Cole keeps that glow that he has about himself. No, Naomi, no, not a Naomi reference. But what I'm saying is he was happy to be at work and they were having fun. And that's what it matters, having fun while you work. You know, I love the one in commentary. If I'm not having fun somewhere, I'm out, man.
Yeah. My biggest take on this is that this is showing a positive change in the whole scope of WWE, because I don't feel
they're letting them do other things, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I dig it.
Yeah.
I don't know the logistics of it, but one of the first thoughts that went through my mind is, why can't he trade with Corey Graves and go to Raw so he can still do Raw after the weekend? Because obviously you can't do SmackDown and then be at game day the next morning.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could, but
yeah, I'm
rough.
sure there's probably pre-show stuff, and you got to be there the night before, get ready. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know all the logistics, but SmackDown won't be the same for a little while, and that. So we'll see how it goes. But I watch his podcast every day. The dude's gold. I really dig. It's not just because.
Hey, if there's an open position, I'm just saying. I know some good guys that would gladly sit in the fill in for Pat McAfee till he got back.
Well, there's a question for you, Doc. Who do you think will take his spot?
Oh man, I mean, so I can see Corey Graves pulling double duty because he's damn good at what he does. You also can put Vic Joseph in there. You can Byron Saxton, which I mean I know, but you know who else would be a good one?
Not Monster. Good. Who?
And I'm gonna say this, Wade Barrett.
Yeah,
I think Wade Barrett would be awesome.
I'm not opposed to that.
Good shout. I like that call.
Let's see what happens.
He's doing a great job in NXT.
I'm just saying, there's a commentator in Pittsburgh.
Guess you'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow.
See you good.
We'll find out tomorrow. And then this happened. So after the AEW pay-per-views, they've been doing these media scrums, which I absolutely love.
They need to quit doing them.
No, they don't. No, they don't. They just need to change the process, because I like the behind the scenes. Like, think about back the rest of the beginning of the year. Tony Khan would give you a little look behind the scenes on how his mindset was about how he made some decisions and stuff, like not some great decisions this time around. But I was talking to CJ before the show, and I really think what happened will make the company better in the long haul, because the changes are desperate now.
I mean, it has to. It has to.
I mean, to not the thing that I said, and I loved him sitting there eating food and stuff. It was great. Here's my take on it real quick before we go through. I'll go through all these slides, and then I'll get you guys' take on the situation as well. Yeah. And I just told CJ before that we always do a little bit of pre-show stuff. We get into the show before it starts out. I think if Punk pre-planned this rant, which I heard a couple of times, so
100%.
He wins the world title a couple months ago, whatever, and he got hurt. He had to give it up. He wins it again, and he's hurt. So he knows he's probably going to be out for a while. He was going to go off. Now, if he would have said, hey, Tony, I'm going to go off in this scrum. If I go too far, just reel me in. But I have a lot to get off my chest, and I'm going to do it. You know, there he is, DH in the house. Welcome.
Boy, cunts.
So as we go through the slides, and like I said, I'm gonna get to a specific slide, and I'll get all three of you guys' take on the situation. But my take is, I think if they would have planned it a little better, that it could have been avoided. But I also, when I was talking to CJ, said everything happens for a reason, and I think the changes that will happen now will be good because of everything that happened. I mean, you got your shots on Cole Cabana, he got his shots on Hangman, the quotes with the Target thing, like Doc said earlier. I mean, was he wrong about everything he said? No, but probably the wrong place to air your grievances. But he's Punk. I mean, it's kind of like I was sitting back in hindsight going, it's kind of what Punk does. But if the boss doesn't keep him reeled in, this is what you get. And then more happened after this. Like, I mean, he was quoting people and dragging people, and literally, and CJ had a great point before the show. Once again, you're burying your own company in front of the boss. I mean, it doesn't seem like a good idea to do, but once again, it's Punk.
major
I'll get to all three of you here. Just let me get to this one slide, and then we'll let all three of you give me your take on the situation. Then the fight that happened in the back, and it's not a work, and a lot of people thought it was, and the melee, and then the fact that Omega now was trying to save the dog, and he got bit, but it wasn't by the dog, it was by a steel. And the suspensions that came down afterwards, I thought were very warranted. Now, this is wrong. He actually got hurt in his match, not in the backstage fight, from what I'm hearing. And he's going to be gone for a while. I really think he came into that interview thinking, I'm injured again. This fucking sucks, and I'm going to blow up on whoever's in front of me. And unfortunately, saw Nick Hausman, who I'm a big fan of. I think he does good work, and he just jumped all over Nick Hausman. And I feel bad for the dude. He didn't really do nothing. And like I said, the report was that Punk premeditatedly wanted to go off, but I didn't think. And then he literally a couple months ago said, if you got a problem with me, come to me and talk to me. And from what we hear, there's two different sides because the details are starting to come out. The Bucks knocked on the door. Then the other side said they busted the door down. The chair was thrown. We got broken noses. You're already injured and you're getting to a fight. And I heard that Punk was the first one to throw blows. So, and that's not good. So, Ray, I know you wanted to get something off your chest.
Well,
what's your take on it?
Here's a major problem. One, there should be people being fired right now. The fact that there isn't is fucking stupid. If this happened in WWE, if this happened in UFC, I mean, actually, there's some shit going on in UFC right now.
Any corporation.
If anywhere else, I mean, people are getting fired. Secondly, I love the media scrum after. It's awesome. However, Tony Khan has a bad habit of sitting next to talent while they're doing their scrum, and people read into his facial expressions and all that shit.
True.
Tony Khan should have reached over and put his hand over the mic and went like,
"Not the time."
Place. I mean,
yep.
Literally, he let this shit go off ridiculous. Do I disagree with Punk and the Colt Cabana shit? No, I don't actually. I mean, let the shit fucking die. I'm sure Punk isn't out there campaigning for Colt Cabana to get fired. Literally 99 point. Okay, everybody but CM Punk in the wrestling world will tell you what a great dude Colt Cabana is. CJ and I personally know him. I have a hard time believing there's malicious content or malicious intent on Colt's Cabana and any of that shit. I feel like the situation got fucked up between them, and sometimes things happen between friends. I have a friend that I was in my wedding that I'm a good friend with, but some financial shit happened between us that I have no control over, and it ruined our friendship. And it is what it is. I don't hate the guy. I just can't be friends with him now because the way he acted and did it. And I'm sure he feels the same way about me. And I feel like that's the situation between Punk and them. And it probably is fucking annoying that every reporter brings it up and it's all kinds of bullshit about that. So yeah, I get Punk's stance on that.
Yep.
The shit about, Adam Page, that should have been squashed and handled fucking months ago in the backstage. Yeah. That should have been either a locker room leader, his brother, Pat Buck, Tony, somebody that helps out in talent relations, realizing that there's some fucking issue, putting those two guys in a room and working the shit out. Instead, this played out on this, on this stance. Now, as far as who kicked the door down and blah, blah, who the fuck knows?
Yeah, we'll never get the full story, I'm sure.
None of it is 100% true, and we're getting shit. But the fact that grown 38-year-old men came to blows in a backstage area after a show, and let's not forget that the Bucks and Kenny are executive vice presidents.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Is unexcusable. Now, Tony Khan died. You can't fire the Bucks and Kenny.
The company's named after him, for goodness sakes.
Well, they started the fucking company.
Yeah, it's their company basically. But
it's that CM Punk is the first to give them $1 million gates. I get it. He's a huge fucking star. Mm-hmm. But if you drop Kenny Omega, you drop the Young Bucks, WWE will snag them up in 8 seconds. They'll be on TV. They'll be huge fucking stars, and you're shooting 3 of your best. I mean, literally, they are 3 of the best.
With Cody. Think about it.
Yeah.
And Hangman, too.
And Larry.
And look, I'm not trying to be rude, but Cody is the least talented of the 4. So you're tied there. Yeah, suspension, work it out, whatever. Punk, on the other hand, you fire Punk, then
I think his injury saved his firing because now he's going to be out 8 months anyway.
I don't.
I mean, if he wasn't injured, I think he might have got fired. A better chance of him getting let go. Ace Steel, get rid of him. What do you need him?
Do I think Punk is in the wrong somewhat? Absolutely. Am I a huge CM Punk fan, and have I been for 20 years? Yes. I was one of the most excited people when he came back. I fucking love Punk. I think he's great on the mic. I think he's a great worker. I like what he brings to his character. However, there's certain things that you can't be untouchable. Nobody can be untouchable. And I think he crossed the line. And I think without having a Vince McMahon or producers in the back to reel him back in, or a Paul Heyman in his ear telling him to calm the fuck down, you're going to have this problem with Punk. And obviously Ace Steel is an enabler and not the voice of reason that you need as being one of his best friends. And I don't know Ace.
Did you hear that his wife was in there? And if you guys ever been in a fight with multiple people on both sides, it's just chaotic. And, some people are trying to break it up. I want to know what Christopher Daniels and Nakazawa did. Like, they got
probably tried to break it up. Yeah. And Cutler.
Christopher Daniels, actually your head of talent relations for AEW. So I'm sure whenever he heard that there was something going on, he probably got in the middle of it and tried to calm the situation. And he's probably a victim of circumstance.
Did you hear that there was an HR lady with the Bucks that went there? Did you guys hear about that too?
What?
That someone from HR was with them?
She was with him. The story that I heard is that she's the head of legal, and she was actually with Christopher Daniels.
Okay.
And when they heard something was going on, they both went to see what was going on, and there was a fight broke out. Yeah. So, yes, their head legal, she's actually the head legal for the Jacksonville Jaguars as well.
What if she saw the whole thing?
Saw everything.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling too. That's why on Dynamite, Tony's address about the situation was very bleak.
Get their names out there and whatnot.
I think he did the right thing business wise, not mentioning it at all. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
because a lot of people are like, "Oh, they should have made it into an angle right away." No, you get rid of those people from TV for as long as you can.
They're going to have non-disclosure signed and agreement signed to not, because you're talking about assault here.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about wrestling and storyline, blah, blah, blah. You're talking about people were assaulted.
If you guys ever work with someone you don't like, it happens
every fucking day.
But
maybe not now. But
shit goes down. Yeah, we got E on our show for fuck's sake. Shit goes downhill. As a manager, is the boss. If TK is saying, listen, you guys have to work together.
I'm just fucking with you.
I didn't even hear what you said.
You and I've hated each other since 1998.
Yeah, that's it.
But they said the last time they had that mandatory meeting out of nowhere that they used to do that all the time. Why aren't they doing that? They should do that every month. Every week they should have.
I'll give you my take on it, and I'll keep it quick and to the fucking point. Okay.
All right, I'm after him.
About the Nick Hausman stuff.
Yeah.
Punk is the one that mentioned Cabana.
Yep.
Hausman didn't even get to ask a question, and Punk already went off because Hausman did comedy with Cabana.
Mm-hmm.
So
and Hausman did report a couple months ago that Punk is the reason that Cabana's an ROH. So that's what fueled the fire.
But the whole thing with the Bucks, the whole Bucks in the Hangman thing, there's multiple sources on record saying that they never spoke to Omega, the Bucks, or Hangman about the whole Cabana shit. Yeah. So Punk thinking that they were the leaks, no.
Yeah, I agree.
The thing that bothers me,
there's an underlying problem with that, and everybody thinks that they're just feeding everything to Dave Meltzer, which they probably are, but only when it suits their thing.
I mean, their finisher is called the Meltzer Driver.
I know, Riley. That's what wrestling does. We will talk about all three events over the weekend, but this is the biggest news. We had to hit it first.
And to continue on, the fact that Punk buried the company in front of the boss is just it's completely fucking unacceptable.
Wrong.
And the fact that Tony did nothing about it, he needs to get his fucking shit in order.
I think he will. I think this will make him do it. So before we go to Doc, what if I would have told you guys in the beginning of the year? Oh, I thought you were done. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, let CJ finish.
I want you to finish. I want to know what your No, go ahead.
Fire Punk, fire Ace Steel, and continue on with life. And I don't feel that Omega or the Bucks should be EVPs anymore. You have Jericho. I say be done wrestling. Make him an EVP and make Dustin Rhodes an EVP.
What about Brian? What about Brian Danielson or
not Danielson because he's still wrestling. Regal, I could see.
Regal, maybe.
I was going to say I agree with CJ. I don't think they should be active members of the roster because you need people, and you guys know this as well as anybody. Doc, you have experience obviously in the backstage area. Mm-hmm. Again, you're mostly in front of the camera. CJ, you've now transitioned into a backstage role. My backstage role I transitioned years and years ago before I left the business. But in any wrestling company, from the smallest indie all the way up to these major companies, there has to be a hierarchy of power. There has to be some place where the stops, and there has to be some kind of structure that can filter problems from the boys to the boss and from the boss to the boys. Because, I mean, you can't. Tony Khan has a roster of what, fucking 200 wrestlers probably. I mean, I'm over.
It's about 130 from the one time I did that.
199. Aleister Black is released for mental health reasons.
I was going to say earlier, while he wasn't released, he asked.
Yeah, we'll get to that. That's in the list. That's in the list. So before we get Doc's take on this, what if I told you at the beginning of the year that Stone Cold Steve Austin's final match wouldn't even be in the top 5 of the stories in this year? That's crazy to me. Yeah. That's literally insane.
This is the hierarchy and structure of AEW right now needs redone from the top down.
I think this wouldn't have happened, it might not have ever happened, and we could have saw the end. This is going to make that happen, I think.
Yeah, Doc, has a hierarchy and a structure that's been put together, but it's been put together from literally decades and decades of them making adjustments and doing things. And is it perfect? Absolutely not. But Tony Khan just kind of decided that it's going to be free for him. And while, yes, I believe in freedom in the matches and freedom for the promos, with just giving some guidelines, you still have to have that back structure to keep any company running. You're dealing with 130 guys who are egomaniacs. Because if you're a professional wrestler or you work in the business, we have ego problems.
Yeah,
that's
hell yeah.
Fact. But that's what makes us charismatic and what makes us good at our goddamn job. So you got to have people to lock that in, to talk through things, to do that down. It needs fixed. It needs fixed now, or he's going to end up losing his company. And Tony Khan needs to lay off the goddamn coke.
I agree.
On some shit.
Does anyone ever see him do coke or know that he does, or maybe that's just the way he is?
No, dude, I'm telling you, me and Doc both work in the field. He's fucking on coke a lot.
Yeah.
Or 100 monsters a day.
Maybe that's just the way he is. Really, I don't want to start throwing stones in a glass house here. Doc, your take on it.
Can I please talk about what I like to refer to as the Scrumster fuck or the Scrumster fire? What I'm trying to say is
I heard that somewhere before.
Where'd you hear that?
That wrestling podcast.
Hey, it's called copyright. He doesn't have a copyright on it. But what I'm going to say is this. He actually gave me his blessing to use as a thank you.
We'll talk more about you and Jason and your trip later on.
Yeah, later. I want to talk about this. First and foremost, I'm going to say I kind of wholeheartedly agree. If Punk, what Punk did was wrong. Absolutely wrong. However, I'm going to bring this up. The simple fact is that when he saw that Nick guy, when Nick helped me with the last Hausman, he was triggered immediately. And the reason being is, when you read stuff that's posted about you, whether it's a comment about your wrestling, a comment about your commentary, it's happened to all of us, you get triggered, you get upset, and it's stored up here. The minute he saw Nick Hausman, boom, he was triggered. And I'm not sticking up for CM Punk, but I am sticking up for CM Punk just a little bit.
I agree with you.
He was triggered the minute he saw it. And I'm sorry, when you have a friend who dicked you over, supposedly, like Colt Cabana dicked him over, I could see just that all that emotion, and he just let it out. He just won the heavyweight championship. Like you said, he already knew he was injured.
Yep.
He's already down his luck, and he basically, in his mentality, said fuck it and went through it. Was it the right thing to do? Absolutely not.
Yeah. Actually, Chad, both of these guys at the bottom used to wrestle. CJ and Ray both wrestled. And
I've actually wrestled Punk.
Yeah, he beat Punk.
And CM Punk put him over and liked it. That's the quote I always hear from CJ. But what I'm saying to you guys is this also. I had to somehow, some way, because, I had an 8-year-old basically jumping up and down in tears, happy, watching CM Punk. I mean, CM Punk made a hero to my 8-year-old. And then I had to explain to my 8-year-old that CM Punk's maybe not going to be around anymore. And he said, "What do you mean, Daddy?" So I kind of went against my parental decision, and I said, watch this. And I went ahead and simulcasted the Scrum right on the TV, and he watched it, and he went, well, okay. And I said, hold on. I paused it every couple seconds. I said, okay, do you know who the EVPs are? Because what's that mean? I said, executive vice presidents. He's talking about the Bucks and Kenny Omega. And he went, oh, no. And then he heard the Hangman Page because he blatantly said Hangman Page. He said, Daddy, that's not the CM Punk I know. That's not the CM Punk. Yeah, like he literally in his head realized, oh my God, this guy's being an asshole. He goes, Tony Khan doesn't look happy at all. I was like, no shit. He's not happy. The fact that I had to tell my 8-year-old, the fact that he looked up at me and said, we witnessed history tonight, Daddy. We witnessed Trios Championship. We witnessed CM Punk winning for the second time, beating Jon Moxley. The fact that he wore a Blackpool Combat Club shirt and still cheered for Punk. Yeah. I mean, my God. But the thing is, he ruined it. Yeah. This was a beautiful thing, All Elite Wrestling. It was amazing. It was something for the wrestling fans to yearn for, especially with all the bullshit that WWE was doing. Let me quote that one more time because I know Dunkin' Donuts is going to pop on in. Was doing. Yeah. And then what happened? This dumb son of a bitch wants to put his ego and his godlike attitude in front of everything. And he ruined it, man. And it just it hurts. It fucking hurts. It really does.
I think there's light at the end of the tunnel, though. I really think this is going to make the changes happen that needed to happen. So. We've been talking the last few weeks about it.
But look at the show last night; it was great. But
yeah,
we'll keep that.
Yeah, that's coming.
But I'm off my soapbox. But like I said, to everybody that was involved in that, fuck off.
Grow up.
Seriously, grow the fuck up.
Be an adult. Yep. Malachi Black, and someone brought it up earlier, his conditional release, and from what I'm hearing, it's for mental health reasons. He's not allowed to go anywhere for a year. He's going to sit out his contract. Whether he comes back or not, I don't give a fuck. I just want him to get better. I mean, if there's something going on with someone, we've talked about it, both of us, all three of us have dealt with it before and discussed this. If he's dealing with something with mental health reasons, by all means, you don't want to be in front of thousands of people.
Dealt with it. Still deal with it on a daily basis.
Yeah, I had a bad feeling about this because after the House of Black match, which was phenomenal, by the way, in the pay-per-view.
You're talking about the
bow? He literally bowed and blew a kiss to the audience, and I looked at my friend Jason, I looked at Bodie, and Bodie goes, "Why did he do that? And is this his last match?" Yeah, and like it all hit us, and like I was like, "Damn, I hope not." And like the worst thing I can imagine happened. I'm more bummed about this than all the other shit because I love
all those people and have a mental health issue, plus being on the live stage and all that, and in social media. That has to be very That has to be tough. I just hope he gets better. Yep. Yeah.
Head right and gets back, to himself and gets back to the business, whether it's with AEW, WWE, because we're losing.
I'm sure they would take him back. Here's a good one. This is about the whole situation.
Yeah. That's not it.
I feel good. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down.
I have to rickroll you guys.
Another fake one, just like the fake one that you saw that
had a page left.
Yeah. So I just wanted to, we like to inject some humor and comedy into, some serious stuff we're talking about here. But so the decision was made, and I talked about it earlier. I think he made the right decision, not only making the announcement not out in front because he did get booed, and Vince got booed for years as an owner too, but it was mostly based off his character. But I think it was the right move to make this decision happen as quick as possible, get yourself some new trios titles, and figure out your world title situation. And I've heard Tony talk about it in the past. He hates vacating titles. If you think that's why he does the interim thing like UFC and boxing. That's where he took that from. He wants interim titles instead. But when he said I was forced to vacate these titles, I was like, he doesn't want to do this, but he has to. Now, people are shitting on this tournament bracket. It literally says on the top,
it's good
of champions. It's based on those who have held championships. So I don't have a problem with it. I mean, it seems like Moxley's going to be the one there, but I want Danielson to win.
I kind of want Danielson as well.
He deserves a world championship, right? What better time?
Yeah.
They're going to put the belt on whoever MJF is going to fuck over for it.
No, that's why they just had the Moxley MJF promo thing, so that's leading me to believe that.
Full Gear is in what, the end of November?
Yeah. I think it's in New Jersey or something too.
It is.
Whoever gets the title right now is only going to hold it because it has to go to MJF.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I don't. That's what I'm afraid of. If it's Danielson and he holds the title for fucking 2 weeks or 3 weeks, that's terrible.
It'll be Mox.
I think it'll be Mox too.
That's
as
where
much as I'd love to see Darby or Sammy get it, just because they're those guys are the originals. They're originals. I would love to see an original win the belt. I mean, don't get me wrong.
And
it easily had 16 people in this tournament, if you ask me.
Yeah, I feel like they said tournament of champions. You should have put the champions in there. You should have put Wardlow. You should have put Pac. You should have put the ones that have the belts. If it's a tournament of champions, they're champions.
I really want you guys' thoughts on this. Here's what I talked about this last night, and I told Vince McMahon on his show I wanted to save it till tonight. ROH is really stagnant right now. We talked about it last week, them not being able to get a TV deal. And this is just something I'm just throwing out there. It's not something I definitely want or nothing, but I'd love Samoa Joe's back. I want to see more of him. Claudio's fighting Dax tomorrow night. I can't wait for that. However, why not unify the ROH and AEW championships? It's going to be that way maybe for a year. You got Wardlow versus Samoa Joe. I would love to see that. You got FTR versus Swerve and Our Glory. I'd love to see that. And Claudio versus whoever wins this. I would love to see that. I know it's, I'm hoping I get a TV deal, but I'd like to see more of them. Are we going to ever get an ROH? That's the question now.
You will.
Months to a year away.
Yeah. But if it's a year away, why not? I know you want to keep ROH in the news and keep it alive, but that was just a thought I had. I was like, why not concentrate on AEW only right now? Because that's what I think they need to do to straighten this shit up, because there's so much falling apart. And I was in denial for a while. I was like, backstage. Are there really that many people upset and disgruntled as workers? We have a handful, and rightfully so. If you're Miro, why aren't you in this tournament?
Thank you.
Have a lot of guys, though, there.
But he's not a champion. That's why.
Regal has worked in the backstage. Don Callis ran Impact Wrestling, helped with ECW. You have a lot of guys there that have experience in the backstage. I don't know why you're not using them more. You have literally the architect of the Attitude Era for talent relations in Jim Ross, who you're trying to get off TV as well. I'm sure you could throw enough money at him to be like, you're the new head of talent relations.
Yeah.
What to do.
I think Schiavone will do fine with it.
But does ROH, but do they have momentum right now? They have nothing right now.
You got to keep ROH separate. You got to keep it separate.
I agree with you. It has to stay separate.
And this is what we talked about last night, too, when I was on Vince's podcast. I said, and we talked about what Ray was talking about last week with Sinclair and them not having the TV rights, which how do you buy the company and not get the TV rights? Because it's easily take Dark or Dark Elevation, and that's ROH every week. I love Power when it was on YouTube.
Doesn't have the TV rights. It's just everything takes forever to transfer.
Oh, okay.
Filed the shit when he first filed the discovery to buy it. He would probably have the rights by now, but they say that shit takes anywhere from 6 months to a year to fully process. And they didn't process it at first. He didn't know he had to do it, apparently. So they're saying that he just filed that shit like right before the last pay-per-view, and now they're in a 6 holding period.
So looking at this bracket, here's one thing I really like about it. Chris Jericho is not a 7-time AEW champion. Bryan Danielson's not a 4-time AEW champion. Jon Moxley's not a whatever time. They're counting the WWE and other championships. I love that.
Yeah, I do too.
The reasoning is the Tournament of Champions. He took the 2 TNT champions that were the most noticed before Wardlow, obviously, and Guevara and Darby. You got Hangman Page, Danielson, Jericho. I can't argue with them, but like I said, I could have done a 16 person tournament, but it's get it over with, get it done and have it. And I agree. Let's not have interim champions and bullshit anymore. You need to have a world champion. So we'll see how it pans out. Another injury. Christian Cage is going to be out, and I think Jack Perry brought it up the other night that he will be out, but now we got the confirmation 8 to 9 months for Christian Cage as well.
Well, that was the reason for the double turn with Luchasaurus. Yeah. And I will say this, regardless of what comes of this, obviously we're going to get Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus now. Jungle Boy cut the best promo of his career Wednesday night.
I liked it too.
That
I like
So
the edge.
So did Mox.
And Mox
So
had a great
did
one, too.
Mox.
Mox had a great one, I thought. And Mox, if you think about it, led the talent meeting before AEW that night. Mox and Danielson both did.
And Danielson.
Yeah, I said that.
All right, boys. Unfortunately, I'm working, trying to get done. I leave at 4 a.m. for a motorcycle trip. So
Best
Be
of luck,
safe.
my friend. Travel safe, brother.
Hey, real quick, I want to say this to DH. I want to thank DH because DH, you and Stokely had something kind of in common on Sunday. Stokely helped MJF, of course, get the chip off the ladder, and DH helped me get a winning fantasy football team.
Wow.
My bet. Thank you, my brother. That's all I'm going to say.
He's now Jungle Man. That's right. Just to move through the rest of these and get to the review of the 3 Supercards because it was a huge weekend. Darby Allin, there he is, a little young Darby Allin. And I love the little turtle jokes that Jericho was
I love
making in the little
turtles.
promo. That was hilarious to me. I love that little jab. So I had to get the mini Darby Allin.
Yeah.
So, good little jabs. I love the little humor that they get in their shit. There were so many people that were like, AEW is dead because of all this.
No,
it's gonna fall.
it's not.
Come on,
Dead.
people.
It's not dead.
Could
People
it
are
be
so
if
jumping.
this doesn't get handled? Absolutely.
Yes, this could implode a company. Now, and it's weird because if you go back 6 months, the same people who were shitting on all over WWE are now shitting all over AEW. Is there reasoning? Sure, there's some, but it's funny how people jump ship like that. Just want to complain. They just want to bitch. I've talked about this. Quit being a fucking critic. What do you guys think about? Well, the first thing I thought was, okay, Ospreay's already gone, so they can't bring those 3 back. What about the Dark Order? Hangman's in the tournament. But I mean, if you think about, they just had a tournament, so why not the 2 teams that were in the semifinals fight over it? But if I think about it, I have no problem with either one of these teams.
I thought it was a
Me
great
neither.
match. I thought it was a
And-
phenomenal match, and I thought they were more deserving to win than anything.
And to have your first double champ in AEW.
Yes, you did.
I would have put over the Best Friends, but that's just me.
I would not be mad at that. They've been there since pretty much day one. They've paid their dues. They're good in the ring.
Yeah.
They're funny and all that stuff too. So
And
I
they're
wouldn't mind.
over as fuck.
Yeah, I
Both
wouldn't
they
teams
are.
are obviously, but
couldn't
Yeah.
complain about the choice. And when I heard Tony say we're going to have trios champs tonight, I was applauding.
yeah.
Don't wait. Just get it done. Move on. That's what. It's not ever going to be business as usual after that happened. But you, as a businessman, I give Tony Khan credit for not mentioning it and moving the fuck on. And getting
Card
back to
is
wrestling.
always subject to change. Love it.
Very
Fucking love it.
It's kind of funny you didn't get the belt. on
Well
straight, though.
deserved.
Yes.
Such a good fucking guy. I've had the pleasure to work with him multiple times.
I saw him at the mall in Chicago. Nice
Yeah,
guy.
He's a fucking star, man.
The transformation of him in the past year. I mean, he wasn't talking much, wasn't doing much. He was still a great worker, but now seeing him play heel and now seeing him play face, and he's getting great reactions both. Uh-oh.
I mean, they were in Buffalo last
we
night.
got the Dark
but-
Knight here. What are you in the dark?
Yo,
hiding
what's
in
up,
your
guys?
closet?
Hold on,
You
I don't
delivering
think that
pizzas?
works any better. I'm driving home from EJ's soccer game, so
All right,
how's
so
everybody?
while we got
Good.
you on here,
Good.
Easy.
Yeah, it's been a rough couple of weeks, but I'm here, living life and watching a little bit of wrestling.
I want to get your take on this situation.
What's that?
Get your take on the Scrum situation and the
Yeah,
fight
he
and all
can't
that
see the
crap.
screen. You better just keep it on the screen. You're on.
The fight. Do we
AEW is
think it's
gonna
a
be done,
work? I
right?
bet you CJ said it's a work.
Nope.
I did not.
Nope.
No.
No.
I
No.
did not.
So here's the way I look at it.
It's got to be.
They
good.
need something to be talked about with AEW. Punk tried to make everybody talk about AEW to get a little bit of the ratings back, and it went too far, and the Young Bucks took it personal, and they got knocked out.
They did not get knocked out.
Did not get knocked out.
They said Nick Jackson got knocked out.
Were you there?
You got a black eye from
No, I wasn't there.
No, he did not
didn't
get
get knocked
knocked out. Punk
See,
threw a
that's how
punch and nobody
rumors
went
get
down.
started.
So
Kenny Omega. got
They're
beat.
saying that they broke down the door and Nick Jackson took it right. And then they said Ace still bit Kenny Omega.
Yes, because he was saving the dog.
Yeah,
Smart.
poor Kenny was saving Larry. Larry,
Parts
don't
of
beat on
that are
nobody.
true. Parts of that are not true at all.
So that's what I mean. We'll hear
I
more
mean,
about it in the
let's
future.
face it, we're talking about that instead of the show, and that's pretty bad.
Yeah, agreed.
And the
We
show
also
wasn't
talked-
that bad.
I said it earlier.
It wasn't that great, but it wasn't that bad either.
We have talked more
was
about
phenomenal.
Vince. We've talked more about Vince retiring than we did about Stone Cold Steve Austin's last match. That's how fucked up crazy this year has been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. This year has been
about news and stuff instead of the fighting.
I mean, who in the right mind would have said at the beginning of this year Vince McMahon will retire, CM Punk would come back, and then there would be a fist fight that suspended everybody?
Yeah.
If you had that on your bingo card, you can call bingo.
Yeah, man.
Right,
damn right. It's been a
Agreed.
wild year, but like I said, for people running a wrestling podcast, thank you, wrestling. There's not been a boring week.
And the best part about it all is if you had Roman Reigns as your champion still and the best wrestler in the world right now, and the most talked about wrestler would be MJF, you would really call like a super bingo because ain't nobody being able to call this shit.
True.
Right.
And that's a parody, and not being able to figure it out is why I love wrestling. I want to be surprised. This year's definitely
100%.
Definitely surprised a lot of people. So Garcia and this is how we solve it all right here, baby. Hug it out, Tony and Vince. Come on, hug it out, Tony and Triple H. Let's all be friends and get along.
Never say never.
Yeah, never say never.
It's wrestling.
Oh, it's so cute. All right. So, we did talk about the news first before we get to the 3 supercards. One, we're just going to blaze through, pun intended, with the NXT stuff, but we're going to cover it briefly. So, let's go ahead, and give our 2 cents. We did our picks, and we have the same champion again, Doc.
That's because I didn't pick.
16 out of 25. So you were 16 and 9 with your picks. Me and Ray were both 13 and 12. Which, like I said, we don't pick to get them right. We just pick just to shoot the shit about it. And I like being wrong because that makes it even more fun. So here's our 2 cents about the 3 supercards this past weekend. So
by the way, real quick, Monstar, God bless you for that hashtag. Thank you. Thank you, Monstar.
Yeah.
Hashtag he hates Owen.
So yeah. Someone got a bingo.
Thanks, Walter.
Wait, did Owen fall again?
Oh, fuck off.
Did you guys see? Okay, at Clash of the Castle, and I hate bringing this up. Did you guys see the guy with the T-shirt that said "Better Dad Than"?
Yeah, that was sickening, and I hope that dude got diarrhea on the way home. Fuck him.
He's not wrong.
But still, man, come on, that's
that shirt is been. That shirt's been talked about. The guy got what he wanted. Let's face it. They put it on TV. It's WWE's fault. Period.
It's the cameraman. Yep, that's who I blame.
Fired for that.
If you're the cameraman, don't put that on TV, dude.
But what about the producer with the 30-second delay?
True. Yeah, that too. He can easily black it out for a second or two. I didn't even think of that. Let's talk about Crash at the Castle. I know it's Clash, but a little bit of a this was dope, man. That
was pretty sweet.
Was amazing.
Yeah,
and I like the long entranceway. We've talked about those before.
I did too, in the simplicity of the entranceway.
Reminiscent of old school stuff. I dig it. Oh man, why is everyone loving Doc all of a sudden? Doc, you're a hero.
He paid him off. That's why.
So I really love the setup. I was wondering what they would do. That was great. It's a big LED, so it changed for entrances and stuff like that. I mean, that's just amazing.
I dig it.
I definitely would not want to sit this far from a pay-per-view, though.
No.
I have.
Bret Hart, it was great to see him. That brings back the 30 years, back to the beginning. Both Drew and Roman were seen with Fury, which made me believe, how's it going to end in the end?
I'm going to sing karaoke with Tyson Fury. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, God. We'll get to that.
It was fucking amazing.
That was ridiculously stupid.
Oh,
dumbest thing ever.
High.
It was, it wasn't supposed to be on TV.
They
were supposed to cut that. It was not supposed to make TV.
I'm glad it was, because he has the voice of an angel.
Fucking suck a dick. He's not here to fucking sing. He's here to fight. don't give a fuck
Tyson
if he can
Fury,
sing.
all I gotta say
I
is
can
he
sing
just had
too.
to entertain, man. He's an entertainer, regardless if he's boxing or not, man. With his voice, with his fists, he's always entertaining. So God bless him.
This match was added late and good. I mean, it's good to see people get on the stream and get on the kickoff at least and not be
Didn't
left.
get to see it, but I'm sure it was pretty good.
Just not getting to see left for anything. We started out with the ladies in a little 6-woman matchup. I think I picked Asuka, Bianca, and Alexa. You guys picked Io, Bailey, and Dakota. So I didn't get that one right, unfortunately. It leads to a lot more. There's your winners of that. I kind of figured since Dakota and Io didn't win the tag titles, they would get over that. Now, this was match of the night, in my opinion.
Oh,
It was
beautiful.
We said last week it was going to be a brawl, too, and it definitely was. I think we all picked Gunther to retain. And he
Gunther.
did. This is what I like, though. Giovanni Vinci
This
now
was-
back
yeah.
with Imperium.
Now, did they change his name or did they keep it Giovanni?
He's still Giovanni Vinci.
Okay.
Still Giovanni
I'm
Vinci.
fine with that.
So, but I like the threesome together as a team again now. I think it builds Gunther up even more. But that's brutal.
Yeah.
I thought the clapping afterwards, like the ovation that he got, it tickled, like it hit him here, and it just showed that real emotion. I loved it.
This was a good example of how to lose
God
and
damn
still
it,
get
Jeff.
over. Lose and still get over, but
Yeah.
I don't think the main event.
And
was
for all
the
you
same way.
people that like to say wrestling is fake, fan or not, fuck
Eat
off.
shit. Sorry.
You know what? And
I'm not sorry.
Let me play
I'm
devil's
not
advocate.
Sorry to
here.
you. I'm sorry. I
Yeah, no.
got me
You're
fired
good.
up.
You're good.
Got me
Let me-
fired up.
And I'm pretty sure I know how you guys are going to react to this. I'm other side of the coin, devil's
Yeah.
advocate. Is there too much chest chopping, bleeding your chest shit in wrestling right now?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
I don't think
Because
so.
there are both companies.
Everybody knew
It's
this
about
was
who
going to be a chop
can
fest.
make the chest redder and bleed. I just don't want them to overdo it. Like right now, I think it's okay. If it becomes a weekly thing where, if it's the right people like Ishii and Kingston, yes, chop the fucking shit out of it.
That man's whiter than the beard
And
hanging
that's
from
what I
your
was
chin,
just going to
Blaze.
say.
Yeah.
The reason why it looks, don't get me wrong, it's fucking brutal, but it looks worse because he's so pale.
Yeah.
If
So-
he was tan, it probably would not look that bad.
Have you ever had your capillaries busted on your tits there, CJ, from chops?
Yeah, low key.
Does it
Super
burn?
ND1.
Does
Yeah,
it?
it fucking hurts like fuck.
Yeah.
Bodie. All right, I'm good. Bodie likes to. And does it hurt?
Yeah, it hurts. Trust me. And
Oh,
not
I
to
wasn't
win out
calling
of you.
I wasn't
I
calling
heard
you. Mike. Come here.
Still champ.
Yep.
Come here. You want to wait?
And we had Liv,
I'm
and we
waiting.
all got this one wrong. All of us got this one wrong. We all picked
I would have picked
Oh, wait.
Shayna.
All right,
I
everybody.
think it should have been Shayna.
All right.
What's
the
up,
Bodie.
man? Yeah.
Big
So-
shout out to Bodie.
We were talking about Sheamus's chest, and
Shit.
they're talking as I was telling them that you've given me red marks in the past because you got a good chop on you. All right, that's
I
all.
like the throwback to Sensational Sherry, the gear
Yeah,
from
Yeah.
that SummerSlam. So, and that's like I said, we talked about it last week. I was hoping that they would do some things to remind the fans. It's been 30 years since you.
I
Got
like Liv a lot, and she's improved so much, but I'm fucking over it.
Me too.
I'm over it.
Me too. I was a
I
big
think
Liz fan
Baszler
back
should
in the
have got
day.
this. Baszler should have got this win right here.
Yeah,
Baszler should have been the winner on this one.
agreed.
I agree too. We were all wrong, and I get the point. I mean, if you want to give a reason, they're trying to build her as a bigger force by beating someone she probably shouldn't have beat. So okay.
Yeah.
We got this, which ended up being a little story in the long run. There's your Purple Light Orchestra.
Jeez.
Judgment Night. There you go. Judgment Day. There they are. Yeah.
Oh no.
I saw one of the best Halloween costumes ever. Someone had like a triangle with those three are inside of it like this, like Superman too. So that's a great
Jesus.
Halloween costume. So Judgment Day, there they are,
Yeah.
getting ready to fight. And I think that was kind of funny when the turn happened.
I loved
and
Oh,
it.
They were cracking up. on
That
them.
was one hell of a fucking clothesline. Thank
Yeah.
God for once Dominic did something that I could get behind. So
Yeah. I mean, if you don't turn him, he was doomed to not, So I like it. So far, so good. We'll see
Yeah.
how they
Yeah.
push it forward.
A
You
dog's
had to
happy
do
with
it. It was just
The
a
dog's
matter
happy
of
to
time. It was a matter of time. Beetle, what's up, my friend?
He's over there making out with his dog.
I don't know what's going on here. All of a sudden, man.
Where's the peanut butter? Where's the peanut butter?
You like to know.
Rollins and Riddle.
It was good, as you would
go.
expect it to be.
So Riddle's little outfit, Patrick Starr, and
Yeah.
Elton Rollins. You had Elton Rollins as well. I love the gear. I love.
Okay,
when
so
they-
guys, do you think that Riddle carried Rollins, or do you think Rollins carried Riddle in this match?
I think they both were equal with how
Yeah,
they
they're both
performed.
really good.
I think
both really good.
I'm thinking it was all Rollins this whole match because
No.
I'm not impressed with Riddle. I really am.
He's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I
You
think
can't
he's
forget
good.
he's a legit fighter too.
Right. I mean, and I understand that, but I just think that he is so. I don't
it's
know. I
Matt
just don't see it.
I mean,
You're
and
allowed.
that's okay.
A lot of people don't get him because of his dude, hey, bro, and all. A lot of people don't like his attitude. A lot of people don't like his way he wrestles. I'm
He's
a
a
huge fan of him.
fucking
I love him.
athlete, man.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah. I'll
exactly.
give you that.
And
100.
he's good. He's crisp, man.
Come a long
you
way
could
too.
tell he was under that Randy Orton learning tree.
I saw some stuff when he first started wrestling. I'm like, is that the same Matt Riddle that's here now? Because I think he's gotten
It's
a lot
not.
better.
As
I think
it
he's
And,
gotten
and
a
I
lot
thought
better.
I thought the stuff going back with Rollins doing most of the RKO.
What the
RK
fuck?
Bro moves. I thought it was perfect.
Yeah, that's Rollins.
That's an
Whoa.
old school Tyler Black photos.
Yeah.
All right.
It was a throwback of himself and Elton John.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. But it was a good match. Those two are stars, both of
Yeah,
them. And
I agree.
we talked about the names coming back too earlier. And then we got to the main event, which, like I said, there was a lot of build up to people believing that Drew was going to end up winning in the UK and that place was going to go nuts.
I mean,
But-
I think he kind of should have, but
This wasn't bad, though. Everyone's saying he's probably going to cash in, but Tyson Fury
it was
taking
great.
care of
That was
him.
great.
Nice big punch out of the blue to get rid of. That was a great way to throw that part of the story in there as well.
he threw a fucking potato at him.
Yeah.
Then you had Cross there, which I think, are we going to get a Drew versus Carrion angle now? Because
Well,
of him not
Karrion
winning?
tweeted just now, the Empire has to go down.
Yeah, he has his sights set on Roman, but I think he's going to have to go through Drew.
He is gonna have to go through Drew. They're not gonna just
I mean,
hand him a
I'm
championship
down
shot
for
like that.
It makes more sense for him to go through Drew. It
Give
makes
him a mountain.
more of a credible opponent when he gets to Roman.
Yeah.
I'm down for all of it.
Yeah.
I'm here
Yeah, I'm
for
down.
it.
I'm
I love it
excited.
all. I
The
love it all.
sad part is, I thought McIntyre looked great.
He did.
He did. He showed
did.
up. He showed up and that crowd was so hot. Oh, Drew McIntyre. The chants. The UK, that's the thing.
That
from
crowd
soccer
was
and all that stuff.
phenomenal. Yeah.
The chants are phenomenal.
Hey, Bailey.
Yeah, that was good too. And then we talked about Solo Sikoa coming up, and I think it was a good time to do this. I think it worked very
I did.
well.
I liked it too. You add another
Yeah.
member. You give the bloodline a lot more. Like, well, what the hell are we gonna do now? We have another one to deal with. You know, not
Dude,
just
does anybody want to guess why the Usos weren't there?
My
DUIs.
guess, yeah,
DUIs.
Go.
yeah. I'm not allowed in Canada unless I get it pre-approved.
Yeah, Canada and the UK are tough on that shit, man.
Yeah, they are.
Hey, I'm the one that fucked up. So
Now
I
the
will-
question is,
I
what
will say
happens-
this real quick. Well, we actually got to watch this while standing in line waiting for the Acclaimed. And whenever Roman went over, you want to talk about pissed off 8-year-old and a pissed off line of people. It was hilarious. I laughed. I was excited because I picked
So-
Roman. So-
What's going to happen to the honorary Oos?
Oh, hopefully he tags with Kevin Owens and they beat the Usos
Yeah.
for the
Well,
WWE
yeah,
tag team.
eventually,
That's
yeah.
what I want to happen.
He's
I
sticking
thought
with
I thought this ending was terrible.
It's
I loved
horrible.
it.
Thank
I
you.
loved it. You're both
It's
fucking
shit.
high.
I
Go
didn't
sit
mind it.
somewhere.
I could live or die without it.
It was great.
Well, from what I
Tyson
read,
Fury's
too,
my new favorite fucking person.
it was not supposed to be on TV. They were supposed to cut the feed before the sing along, but this was fucking ridiculous.
Oh, it was phenomenal.
Bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Get
Now
the
you
fuck outta
sound
here
like
with that
shit.
shit.
Tyson
Yeah,
Fury has
that
the
was
voice
bad.
of a
Singing bad on
fucking
purpose,
angel.
you morons. I could
And
sing.
Tyson
Go fuck
Fury
yourself.
doesn't have a mangina.
Terrible. That was terrible. And they tried to do more of it, and it got even more cringe.
Yeah.
Honestly,
no.
honestly, I think they screwed the UK fans. the UK fans didn't get the go home they wanted. They didn't, and we're going to talk about more screwing over the UK here in a little bit. So, I mean, people were talking about, will Charlotte come back? Will they come back? Will Braun come back? And we got Solo Sikoa, which was good for the picture. They got to have a plan for Roman if they did this. They got to have a long-term plan for him. Here's a scrum.
Oh, you guys don't know? Walter slapped the shit out of Liv earlier, like later after the scrum was over.
And then Seth Rollins bit Gunther.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good back.
I like that they're doing the scrums too. I love the behind-the-scenes scrums. I don't want either company to stop it because I like hearing from the talent afterwards. But you could tell WWE has their shit in line, telling these guys, here's what you talk about, here's what you don't talk about. When Roman made that one guy acknowledge him,
that was great.
The report, he's like, acknowledge me. Yeah. And the guy was like, okay, I do.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Phenomenal.
It's awesome.
The memes about Roman and CM Punk are great. Like beat a UFC fighter 3 times, lost a UFC fighter 2 times. Like, come on.
But don't get rid of the scrums. I really like them. I really dig them. So real quick, to go through Worlds Collide. This should have been, in my opinion, it should have been a takeover because NXT took over. They didn't give any shine. They didn't give any shine to the NXT guys.
Loved it.
Right back. Excuse me.
Yep. Great match.
Loved it. Yeah,
great match, and it would definitely help elevate him. I dug it, but same champ, rightfully so. I'm
okay with that.
No complaints.
Carmelo Hayes is phenomenal, man.
This one, the UK champ didn't win. The girl from the UK didn't win.
Blair Davenport, is that Bea Priestley?
Bea Priestley, yep.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
But she didn't need to be there. That's my issue with this match.
Why didn't she?
Well, because she
was the number one contender. She won a tournament to be the number one contender for the NXT UK Women's Champ, and if it's going to go away, she got to get her shot. So that's where I heard.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
So I see where you're coming from, E. If it's unification of titles, unify the titles. But
honestly,
they justified it. They said
I would have had Mako Satomura go over and Mandy get called back up to the main roster, but
yeah, I'd have been okay with that.
Yeah. So there you go.
But can
moving
she
right
handle her
along
own on the main roster?
Bring Toxic Attraction with her.
Yeah. So I didn't get the picture up here that she posted the other day, but did you see Mandy naked with the 2 belts on?
Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Very nice. Very nice.
Oh
very
yeah.
Bad things, man, bad things.
Once again, I know Pretty Deadly came from the UK, from what I understand, but they've been in NXT for a while, so them winning this is just NXT taking over. You know, Gala's sticking around though. I dig those Coffee Boys. Those dudes are dope.
The only thing I didn't like about that was that the one Diamond Mine guy, he should have just taken the chair off the Pretty Deadly guys and then done the spot. But
man, your dog really wants to be on the show today. I dig it. Tag title matchup. Champions retain.
Yep.
No
change 2 names in that match too. Nikki Cross and Piper Niven. There you go. Yep. Done deal.
Piper beat the piss out of their opponents on Tuesday. She nose is all bloody. I love seeing
change
that.
Casey back to her name too. Casey Canizaro. I like that better.
And give us Rex Steiner.
Yeah.
This is a good. I knew this was going to be a good match, and I'm pretty much sure that unless they were just like Mandy, unless they're going to bring Braun up, Braun got the win.
Tyler Bates is so underrated.
Yeah, I don't think he's underrated.
And the rumor is that Braun Breaker's also dating Cora.
He is.
Cora Jade.
It's not rumor. They've posted pictures together,
boy.
so I will confirm that rumor.
So that was
all right.
NXT. So now let's get to All Out. And before we get to the actual matches, we had Mr. Doc at the show. So
it was fun times, man. It was awesome times.
So you were a part of the meet and greet, obviously. Here's someone said, why does Kip Sabian look like a magician?
Okay, do you want to hear a funny story real quick?
He is.
I got stories. That one right there, hilarious. Penelope Ford met him. We met her before they got in the complimentary part where you could take the picture with them. And I said, hey, Penelope, would you mind? She was like, hey, we're going to be doing something over here, but it's going to be me and Kip. So go head over there. Now, Kip was walking around taking pictures of people with his box head on, not talking to him, just going, just being funny. So when we went up to take the picture, he went, hello. again. And I lost. I started laughing, and he goes, Bodie, meet my wife. And she's like, oh, look at this cutie. I want to take him home. And he's like,
Hey now.
he shook his head no, which I was like, damn it, boy. And of course, Kip goes, she takes strays in all the time. Don't worry, her number's up. I couldn't stop laughing. And
You
then
can take me home anytime.
he kept begging Bodie to hold the box, and Bodie was like, I ain't touching that thing. And he was like, hold the box, Bodie. And it was the funniest way he was saying it. And Bodie's going, fine, I'll hold it. They turned around, and Kip goes, see, I love it when they listen to me. And then we took the picture. It was great. It was good times.
It's a good one. That's a good one. You got to meet a lot of people here, so let's take a look at a couple more the experience before the show. Dark Order, man.
Cool guys.
Their interview last night. Did you guys notice the new masks?
Yes.
The white, they were amazing.
Yeah, they were pretty cool.
Yeah, 10 and 10 trying to get recruited by Andrade.
Silver's so good with kids too, man. Silver was really awesome with Bodie, just talking to him, and Bodie was like, I'm almost as tall as you. I was like, oh shit. And Silver's like, yeah, but you're not. And he goes, you're not jacked. And I always say he cheers for Johnny Hungy. He goes, he started laughing. He went, you call me Johnny Hungy, huh? And Bodie goes, yeah. He goes, this is a smart kid. They were great guys. I congratulated Alex Reynolds because they announced it on the Jazzware panel that he is getting his action figure, which was really, really awesome. So it was really cool. Yeah.
Who's taller, John Silver or Tyler Bate?
Silver.
They're both very short.
Yeah, they're both.
He might have by an inch or two. So honorary member of the Dark Order, Bodie.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Love it.
I was just there for the ride.
Dante Martin
made Dante Martin tear up. Bodie walked up to him and I said, say what you want to say to him. He goes, okay. He looked at me, went, I'm going to become a wrestler and I want to be just like you. And he clutched his heart, and it was amazing just to see the emotion in that. It was really cool. So he's a really cool dude. Really nice.
Your boy's going to be a lady killer, man. He's got the words, he's got the lines already and stuff.
Oh, he's good. This was hilarious because he looks at Singh and goes, dude, I come up to your hip. I was dead. I actually got to talk to him about working with Sanjay Dutt at RWA. Sanjay Dutt was our two-time RWA Cruiserweight champion, great guy. And I actually explained that Sanjay Dutt saw Bodie when Bodie had no hair. It was basically an infant, and I was dressed. I had to change a diaper, and it was at California University during our Salute to the Troop show. And as we were as I was changing him, I hear, look, there's a baby. What's up with that? I turn around and there's Sanjay Dutt in a hurricane watching me change Bodie, and Bodie looked up, saw him, start crying. It was hilarious. And I explained that story, and Jay Leaf was like, what's your name? He actually literally legit put it in his phone and said, I'm going to tell him you said hello, because I was like, hopefully he remembers me, because we've talked a lot. So
those are great interactions. Like a lot of people, when they go to these meet and greets, it's just like, I got to take a picture with them, and that was it.
No, they take the some people did it real quick, but some people took their time and talked to them. And
that's
I talked to them for a couple minutes. They were cool. I didn't hold up the line. Yeah, that's funny. Speaking of, that's my dream. Like I want to make it, but no, shut the fuck up.
I was going to put 2 S's down here so it says shit ass on the side.
Yeah, what's really funny? This is not mine. This is actually my friend Jason's from this wrestling podcast. I'll be sending this to him. I actually was able. This is not mine. I did not buy one. I did not want to pay $50 for a figure that was reprocessed and just put in a different box. It's like the same sheet of figure as before. As you can see, it's 1 of 3,000. Oh wait, there it is. 1 of 3,000, and comes with a kendo stick. And when they interviewed her, she said, "I really liked it because they finally gave me a kendo stick." But my dream is to one day have my own wrestler. I'm not gonna lie, if that happens, you're gonna see a teared up Doc, because that is one of my dreams. Not only just to make it big, but to have my own wrestler.
Do you want me to crush your dreams, Doc?
Go ahead.
I have my own action figure.
Cool. That's cool. I would love an action figure
as the Mantis.
Oh, there you go.
I do. Sure I gotta find it.
Yeah, definitely find it. I'd love to
I got a whole set of the Hellfire Club.
Oh, that's cool as hell.
Me, Shirley Doe, and Devil Budokan.
Oh my God! There you go. There's the name. That was a really cool. We got to do the Young Docs. The Young Docs. Yeah, no, not this one ain't too young, but the other one, yeah.
The Young Docs.
Yeah, it was fun stuff.
Sheeta's one of my favorites too. All right, so let's get to the show. They added this one kind of late, and
Poor
Once
Ruby.
again,
Poor Ruby.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, poor Ruby got her nose broke. The Destroyer I thought was amazing. There is something else I wanted to show, and I'm kind of upset that DH didn't show up for it. As you can see,
FTR. Nice.
yeah, I did not meet FTR. However, Jason from that wrestling podcast did, right? So anybody he met, he gave Bodie the autographs.
Wow.
So he only went for 2 really paid meet and greets because they were all $100. So there's Kingston. He met Kingston.
Dope.
And then this one wasn't from this one was from Uncle Jason because he did get Bodie. This is a little present, but we actually got to meet the Acclaimed, which I wish you would have showed that picture. But the Acclaimed was really cool. They were really cool to Bodie. They loved Bodie, and I told them about the Scissor Me story, which we'll talk about the Scissor Me story after we go over the matches. I promise.
Match, yes.
Mark Henry on Busted Open was great about the Acclaim this week. I don't know if you guys heard that story or not.
What day was it?
Oh God, dude!
You mean when they win it, he'll come out and scissor?
Yeah,
he won't do it until they win. Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah,
This was a good match.
I won't scissor them because I know what it means. But damn it, they were getting ready to win. And I saw them getting ready to win, so I ran up the gorilla, and they didn't win, so I didn't scissor them.
Bodie actually got them. We actually got to meet the Busted Open crew. They were amazing. Dave LaGreca is such a nice guy, man. He actually took his time with us, talked to us. He was literally just walking by, so I was like, "Oh, you're Dave LaGreca," and he was like, "Yeah, what's up, kid? How you doing?" You know, it was really cool to get to meet them guys and stuff. Yeah, Bodie actually got to meet Izzy, the girl that Sasha makes me cry, and I was doing a podcast, and she loved my House of 1,000 Corpses shirt. And what was really cool about it was the simple fact that like she looked at Bodie, was like, "You're so adorable," and I'm like, "Here we go again. Go ahead." And she was like, "I'll get a picture. I want to get a picture with your boy." I was like, "Go ahead." There's a picture of Izzy and him. So we're gonna have to we have to load more of these up for next show.
Yeah, I grabbed as many as I could real quick.
That's cool.
We'll have more of our local focus coming back. Hook over on Angelo Parker keeping his title. Pac and Kip Sabian. This is his first match in a long time on a big show.
He did great. I thought he did awesome for being out as long as he did, and I really like the gimmick that they're going with the box.
Sabian is going to be a star. Mark my words.
Thank you. Thank you.
For what he's done in a year waiting around with the Bucks, and we have to thank him for letting us in at the Peterson Event Center early. So I am forever in debt to Kip Sabian for letting us not have to wait through that line.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Box, he opens that door and we just walked right through.
Yeah.
No, Walt, I did not meet Sting this time, but I got to see him during the Jazzware press conference, and it was awesome. He shattered a $100 ring, just chucked it.
Jeez.
That's pretty funny stuff.
So let's talk about Chop Fest and talking about just
it was good.
brawl.
It was good.
I enjoyed
These two beat the snot, piss, shit, farts, burps out of each other. It was beautiful. I mean, just to have a match like that on there where people were just annihilating each other, I dug it. And then there was the ladder match.
This was
it was
awesome.
solid. It was solid.
Wait, here's the one thing I want to say. What in the fuck is this?
It could have been something. It could have been. I don't think it kind of went off how he wanted it to, but it's pretty fucking impressive.
I love when they do. We talked about this on a different ladder match in the past, where I like when they innovate. They do something you never saw in a ladder match before. Like, I don't mind if someone's holding the other side of the ladder when someone does a squat off, or the referee helps, because you don't want the ladder fucking falling over. But this was really crazy and weird. But But the story obviously was. This guy and Stokely Hathaway coming out and getting it, and the Devil coming back, and literally there were people torn over who it was.
No, but you know what gave it away? And
how he got under the ring. He got under the ropes and he did his little shimmy. That's when I was like, that's MJF.
Not just that. What gave it away for me was when he come out to the certain song by a certain band called the Rolling Stones. Symphony for the Devil.
Yeah.
And let me read you these first lyrics.
Okay.
Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. I've been around for long, long years. Stole a million man's souls of fate.
It in your face.
Yes.
Hey!
Wow.
How much did that one cost, Tony?
Another part. And here's the thing. What was it on? And another part that he says, let me please introduce myself. A man, I lay traps for troubadours who get killed before they reach Bombay. The simple fact is that first line, guys, and that's what hit me, because my dad used to sit back and play acoustic guitar in the living room when I was younger, and he used to play Sympathy for the Devil. And as soon as that song hit, I was like, son of a bitch, this is MJF. There's no ifs about it. But the way that they had his pack, that's what was thrown off. A lot of people were like, I think that's Adam Cole. That's Adam Cole. And I'm like, why would Adam
Someone
Cole?
was like, that's Bray Wyatt. I'm like, no, unless he lost a lot of weight.
Fucking short for Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
So here's my question, Doc. Answer me this. What do you think?
Yeah.
Is this MJF paid Stokely and the crew just to get the chip, or are they going to be a faction?
Who knows at this point?
Okay.
Who knows? Because if you think about it, before they even answered the question on Dynamite, they end up beating the shit out of that cameraman or that production manager. And I liked how they cut it off because everybody's like, well, what the fuck? What's the answer to it?
MJF paid them to get the chip.
Yeah.
But I figured
because
that much. But I'm
loads
like,
of money.
Is it just going to be MJF goes his own way now, or will we always have these guys as the group under him as a stable? I don't know.
Who knows?
I think he goes his own way.
It could go either way, and I'm cool with either way. I love the intrigue. I think, like we've talked about.
But keep that picture up for 1 second, real quick. Wardlow was big, right? He's a big dude, right?
Yeah.
Wardlow. Yeah, Morrissey's bigger.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
He's taller.
He's taller. But he's not bigger. He's not. Yeah, but
he's taller.
Morrissey looks bigger than he was physically in WWE.
He's fucking. He looks in
jacked
phenomenal
a little more.
shape.
Yeah.
He is taller than Wardlow because, like I said, I got the opportunity to meet Wardlow, and we walked by Morrissey at this Chicago mall, which is phenomenal. And as we walked by him, Bodie goes, "Dad, look, there's Big Cass's finger all out." I was like, "Whoa, buddy, come on, we're not bothering him." He was on a mission. So.
You got Ethan Page, which I love him finally getting something to do. The Ass Boys can play, the funny, the bad guy. And what do you guys think about Lee being in this group?
Lee's all right. I mean, it's fine. Lee was one of the first ones Stokely signed, so why not? But
I think Lee's getting lost in the shuffle.
I'll see how it plays out. But I like how they did bring it all together. Stokely was giving those cards out for weeks, and now it made sense. It came to a conclusion.
I liked how he went in the camera and said, "You got knocked the heck out."
Yeah.
I liked how he did that. That was cool.
So, of course, the Devil did make his return later on, but we got this first. The tournament, which now we know doesn't mean much because they'll get a title reign in the books.
Yeah,
but
for a couple days.
But now we talked about at the beginning of the show the suspensions,
it was a really good
everything.
match.
But it was a really, really good match.
It was a phenomenal match, and now it went to shit because people can't put their egos aside
and be professionals.
Yep. No. So that's the story at the end of this show. Those two that and the other main event just got kind of
ruined,
wasted a little bit. Yeah, because of what happened. So it kind of sucks that happened. But what can you do? You got to make the most out of the situation. Like I said, Tony, get shit moving, move on, don't talk about it, and get going.
Love Jade.
You call her green. So she's going to be green. I love the She-Hulk outfit.
I did too. I thought it was really good.
Loved it. Loved it. Especially because the show's going on right now too. So it ties into what's actually going on. She-Hulk's TV show on Disney+.
But the fact that she's a big geek like this, she loves comic books. She likes Japanese animation. She loves all that stuff. You know what? I think that's really cool that she expresses that out in her outfits and stuff. I think that's awesome. Yeah, she don't give a shit.
It was dope. And
it wasn't awesome.
What?
The fact that Athena didn't win.
Yeah, well, they're continuing to build. I don't know what the end game is with this, but 37-0 now for Jade, and she is getting better. I mean, she
is. I can't fault.
But what I talked about this last night too. I think with Jade, it's superstar appeal too. She is the type that I could see in a Marvel movie or something. She has the body. I don't know if she can act that great or not. I mean, and she is getting better in the ring. Obviously, whoever's
they're
working
grooming
with
her to be a for the women's championship.
Hey, Blaze.
What?
Cut the shit.
All right.
Cut the shit,
on that
Tony. Cut the shit, Tony. But Jade is still the champ, 37-0 now. Will they go for, what is it, 88 or whatever that was Goldberg back in the day?
It was way more than that.
165 or something. I don't know.
I lost count.
This was a really good match too, and I kind of thought it would be because I'm a big fan of all six of them, to be honest. Wardlow with the win with FTR.
It was fun.
My favorite, I think, was his daughter coming in
breaking Sanjay's pencil.
Yeah,
it was so awesome.
Yeah,
it was really awesome.
Yeah,
and the T-shirt that said, we had a other side of the T-shirt. That was it. Was it Sanjay that was wearing the T-shirt too?
Fight like a little old brat or something.
Yeah, like a brat. Yeah. So it was kind of emotional whenever she came out at the end and they did a little thing with her, and I'm like, I didn't expect it, but talk about getting the kids involved, and I dig it.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see.
Nothing wrong with involving your kid in some wrestling.
Yep, Dax and Claudio tomorrow night. Can't wait for it. We did get Samoa Joe back, thank goodness. He was doing the Twisted Metal movie.
Yep.
But he came back. Where are they going to go with Powerhouse Hobbs? Is he going to be next in line for Wardlow? Because he got the win, and
I don't know.
Hobbs and Starks, I thought it was a very quick match, but I really enjoyed it. And when he was taking pictures with people, Bodie said, "What are you going to do on Sunday, Powerhouse Hobbs?" And he looked at Bodie and went, "I'm going to beat Ricky Starks' ass. That's what I'm going to do." I lost it. Ricky Starks was really cool with Bodie, though. Like, he played with his watch, and Bodie has one of those watches that has a GPS, phone, everything in it. And Ricky Starks literally held up his line because he was like, "Can I see that watch? That thing's really cool." And he literally was just playing with it. I laughed. It was fun times.
I could be Nacho, but no more vacated titles, please. Oh, champions. Then we got come on, Swerve and Our Glory and the Acclaim. Like we all thought the Acclaim were going to get this. We thought the
I
Acclaim
definitely would have called an audible.
That match right there stole the show, I thought, because
it was really fucking.
It was
good,
such
man.
a back and forth contest between them. Plus, you're getting behind Acclaim. You've seen how many people love the Acclaim. It turned Swerve into a heel, and he didn't even really. He just said, "Fuck it, I'm going to go with it." But what I really liked about it was the simple fact that afterwards, we met them. They were really cool to Bode. Bode really wanted them to win. What was funny was Bodie is literally almost in tears, just going like this. Like, he wouldn't even watch the match afterwards. He was that bummed. And like, all these fans are behind me going, "Hey, buddy, it's going to be okay." It was really cool to see all the wrestling fans come together for that. I don't know. You know what I mean? That's why I love wrestling.
I might have to go out on a limb here and say this was my match of the night.
Me too.
So in the scrum, number one, I think it was real shitty for whichever reporter asked Tony Khan about calling an audible while the champs are sitting right fucking there.
But guess who acted professional and handled it the best way possible? Fucking Swerve.
Yeah, he did.
Yep, he did.
But they were talking about the audible on Busted Open too, and said, how many times do wrestlers get to call the audibles, and they don't. And Mark Henry, I believe, said that he only believes it's happened one time, and that was in the Dominican Republic when Flair was supposed to go over and the crowd was too hot. But here's the thing. Then they were talking about this. If the wrestlers call the audible, they get a breach of contract. They get sued.
Yeah, no, it has to come from
he's
somebody
right.
in the back.
He's absolutely right.
Good point. If there was an audible, I would think Punk going, "My fucking arm is broke. Pin me, Moxley. I can't be the champ."
You're not going to do that.
But I knew it wasn't. I'm just saying, if there were going to be one.
Didn't call the audible. That's what I don't understand.
But the rematch is set. He did set the rematch, and then they did book it
for Arthur Ashe
coming up.
Yeah.
So you guys think his claim gets up the second time around?
Has to.
I hope so. Yeah,
it's in their hometown. It's in their hometown. Yeah.
Well, that doesn't really mean anything.
I know.
Unless you're CM Punk.
The women's match.
We'll see how that worked.
For my favorites, and now we do have kind of, even though Tony won it, the split between Britt and Jamie is happening.
Another audible I would have called here, but I would have put Jamie over.
I don't disagree with either one of those.
I was bummed.
If it would happen and Tony called it, I wouldn't be mad at either one because the crowd were behind them both. They were hype, and they do deserve it. Acclaimed and Hater, I think, would be great champs.
But in the same, go ahead.
It was weird to see Britt Baker kind of lost in that shuffle in a way because she's usually over she had one of the biggest lines in FanFest too. And like I said, Jamie Hayter, she was just, my God, the crowd was so behind Jamie Hayter whenever she pulled that ref, whenever Britt pulled the ref, my God, it was like everybody took the air out of the arena. It was like, oh, why?
This is one thing I will give Tony Khan credit for. Even though I said I would have called both of those audibles, make them wait and want it more. But
these, along with Athena, these four are four of my favorite women wrestler in all of wrestling. So I just dug the match, and we'll see how it goes. Tony Storm's your champ, and I liked seeing her defend it already on Wednesday. Let's not do the Thunder Rosa shit and barely see her. Get her on TV, defend the title. I love that they did that right away. Now that we got the Jungle Boy and Christian Cage, we talked about it earlier with the turn again with Luchasaurus turning again, and more than
who
likely
didn't call that happening? Who didn't see it?
I don't think it was going to happen if
but the
Christian
injury
wasn't hurt.
Yeah, with him being out now for 6 to 8 months, now you do get the Luchasaurus versus Jack Perry feud, which I'm cool. I'm down with. It's been a long time they've been together. Let's see them fight each other.
Yep.
I'm cool with that. Danielson and Jericho, two of my favorites again.
Another phenomenal match, I thought.
Great match.
It was really well done.
Great match. Jericho getting the win.
Oh man, that was another one he was pissed about. There's a picture online I put Jericho wins. He's just like, and I'm like, it was good times.
But now we get Danielson probably beating Jericho in the tournament.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Who
Casa. You got to put people.
I'm down with it. Now they said when Jericho got interviewed last night too, where he said, "When I fight Brian next week," they're like, did he just spoil the result of that match? Or maybe he was just saying that's who he thinks going to win. That's why I took it. But a lot of people were saying, "Oh no, he spoiled the result because he said what was going to happen," and Brian went, "Okay, whatever." Darby, Sting, and Miro versus the House of Black.
It was awesome.
Decent.
But I didn't understand one thing, though.
What's that?
I didn't. Did you watch the end? Miro just looked at him. He didn't celebrate. He literally just looked at him, nodded at both of them like, "This is business. I handled it with you."
Yeah.
And then walked off. It was kind of wild.
Yeah,
I think Miro should be the next one for Wardlow.
That would be a good call.
I don't know if that's a bad. What, really?
They're saying he ain't happy.
Yeah, he's one of them that I've heard too that isn't. And
Yeah.
you know what? Honestly, I wouldn't be either.
I agree.
I want to see more of him. I want to see more. Well, Joe's back. I want to see more of Joe. I want to see more of Claudio. I want to see more. They have so many. That's what I mean. Even if they did get rid of Punk and the Bucks and Omega, their roster.
No, you can't get rid of the
I'm
Bucks
just saying,
and Omega.
if it would have happened, they still have so many people that could, come up and do better, and all the young talent and everything. The bloated roster would come into play. You got a bloated roster? Well, use it.
Yeah.
You could afford to lose people and still have a lot of talent that you could try to make something out of. Moxley and Punk. Punk should be champ. And now we talked about it earlier. Was. I think the injury that happened during the fight really changes a lot. It changed a lot. And then MJF came back at the end, obviously revealing himself to be the devil. And I think it was a great way they did it. Throw the scarf over from behind. Is this
and the voicemails.
Yeah, and we were all talking about when MJF comes back, how they're going to do it, and I think they did a really good job of bringing him back.
Yeah,
really good job of bringing him back. And he's a star. He needs to be on the top. He needs to be on the top doing his thing.
So
really jealous of that.
I got to put this over. So Bodie made a friend named Courtney. Courtney Robertson, her name is. She's from Philly area. And her boyfriend were waiting in line, and her boyfriend was sitting on one of these that he bought for $250. It had a Moxley and Punk's autograph on it, and he was getting all the other wrestlers that he was meeting and greeting to get to sign his chair, which I thought was awesome.
Okay.
So as we're looking at the chair, I thought it was really cool, and it's really done well. And what's funny about this is I see Courtney at the event with her boyfriend, and Courtney, who's pretty awesome, said, made friends with Bodie. In line, was really nice to him. They say, "Hey, Bodie, come here." I'm like, "Okay." So we're up in the seats, and he goes down where the arena would go around like this. And they say, "Hey, there's an extra seat here, blah 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 blah, front row." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, I just met y'all." I'm like, "What's going on here? Wait, can't take my kid front row." And they said, "No. There's people that don't want their chairs because they're gonna fly back." And we asked them if Bodie could have it, and they said yeah. So after the event was over, this guy handed me a bracelet, handed me the chair, and we walked out. However, my friend Jason from That Wrestling Podcast wanted to buy one, and he's like, he's almost ready to shell out $180 to this one guy for his chair. As we're walking to the car, this old lady comes over and goes, "Oh, look how adorable you are with your Blackpool shirt. Would you like these 2 chairs? We're flying back." Me and Jason both got a chair. So I have actually 2 of these in my house right now, and Jason actually got one too. So, but I do want to personally thank Courtney for doing that for Bodie. You're an awesome person. It was awesome meeting you and your man. And like I said, whenever AEW comes to Pittsburgh, dinner's on me, please, anything. So thank you again, Courtney.
There you go. We talked about the news, and then we talked about the fighting, and just like Riley and a couple people in the chat even said, as much as hopefully
Easy's really quiet. What's going on over there?
I'm just listening to you all. I enjoyed AEW this weekend. I really enjoyed Clash at the Castle, which surprised the shit out of me.
Yep.
And I really don't have a lot to say because it's actually kind of fun.
If you got one last thing to say, save it for this. All right, now you can finish your thought. Easy at the end of the day. Finish your thought.
So at the end of the day, wrestling has been great last weekend, and we are getting the things that we actually want. With the rumors of more wrestlers coming in WWE, with the rumors of wrestlers switching sides from AEW to WWE and vice versa. We're in for a great couple of months, and let's face it, if Triple H stays this course and we change NXT and we change the way that WWE is doing business, it's going to sell, and, then you have AEW moving up a little bit, but at the end of the day, WWE blew out sales in England and looks great, and AEW sold out Chicago and looks great. So let's have fun.
Yeah.
Amen, man. CJ, end of the day, my friend.
At the end of the day, I have a few things I think that. Oh, Jay, go sit.
Thank you. Hey, stop it.
It's so over, man. Shit.
Yeah.
Jay.
At the end of the day, I'm going to make two statements that I think will surprise even you three guys and everybody else. All Out, I believe, was good, but I think Dynamite was better.
Dynamite was great.
And this is one thing I am going to disagree with you on, and I'm surprised you're not the one saying this. If WWE keeps on the path that they are, I think they're going to start outshining AEW.
A lot.
Oh, yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
I'm tired.
All right. Riley, yep, we just want to watch wrestling. Doc, end of the day.
End of the day, watch all of it. Love it. And like I said, professional wrestling is awesome. It's a good time. And at the end of the day, I want to do it. I hope one day I make it. So I hope one day the man below, the man down here, I hope.
Thank you.
He blows you? Is that what you said?
No, the man below me.
Oh.
Below me.
Time's running short, but I hope so.
I mean, I do pay well, CJ. All right, I'm done.
Whoa, a 20 is a 20.
At the end of the day, I do agree with Easy. At the end of the day, I think WWE heading in the right direction, doing wonderful things. I'm enjoying the shows and the angles and the fights. Come on, Triple H, give me that Survivor Series we really want. And in AEW, shit goes downhill. And if you don't fix it at the top, it's going to crumble. And I don't want to see it. I love the variety. So I think that what happened over this past weekend needed to happen for him to get his shit in line.
Would agree.
Get some people below you to run the show and make sure shit like that never happens again. And we all know we've all had our downs in life. Sometimes you got to get taken down to the bottom before you can reach where you need to be. And I think this may be a wake-up call for not only AEW, but other companies that are trying to make it to get your shit in line, be a business. Don't let what do they say? Whatever's run the asylum, So
inmates.
The inmates run the asylum. Thank you.
There you go.
Let things play out and, like what you want to like, hate what you want to hate, have fun with it. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan right now, folks. So for the WrestleSense podcast, boys, we will see you.
I give that a 9, 10.
Actually,
9.5.
I'll see you on the flip side. See you in my streams. I'll be live in a little bit with LTD as well, people. We are out of here.